Hello, grade 8s. Welcome back to WorksheetCloud. Again, if you have any questions, please just email us. We'd love to hear from you. Grade 8 at WorksheetCloud.com. Hello again. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Mrs Gosselin. I've been teaching you guys English for the past few weeks. I really hope you've been enjoying it. I've just got the email there again, just in case you guys want to send me an email. Now, just a little bit about myself. Yep, that's me in my younger years. Absolutely crazy experience, bungee jumping. I did it with my brother. My brother is an adrenaline junkie. So he decided, he said, come, no, you've got to do it. And I did it. What an experience. Scariest day of my life. I'm really into adventure and surfing, and I love theme parks like Ratanga Junction. I can still go on roller coasters. That's not scary, but I don't think I'll ever bungee jump again. I mean, I'll never say never, but I'm older now and wiser. But what an experience that was. Something else about myself. I love shopping. I know it's really, one of my addictions, but what happens is when I get locked onto something, I always wear it. So earrings, I always wear pearls, usually. I really want to try hoop earrings out. And then I'm sure you've seen, but I love scrunchies. I'm so glad they came back. When I was younger, I used to wear them a lot. And now a new thing, you're probably going to see this of me all the time, but clips. How exciting. I've got 2 clips. I don't know if you can see it, but they arrived today. So I had to put them on for you and just show you. I really, really like them. So that's just a little bit about me. We've been doing parts of speech and we're almost near the end. It is very important to go through it and just to learn the basics of what it is. We're going to get through the end, so don't worry, just hang in there. If language is not your most favorite thing about English, don't worry, we will move on to something different next week. Right, so we're doing adverbs today. So if you look at our wheel, we've done nouns, pronouns, verbs, and now we're going to do adverbs. So if you haven't watched these videos, just catch up, go back through it. My very first video was on interjections, and you can just catch up whatever you've missed out on. If you would like to take down notes or just write something down, please grab a pen and a piece of paper. Right, so let's get into it. So what is an adverb? So an adverb is a word that tells us more about a verb. So we've done verbs, we know what verbs are. The boy stubbornly refused to study. Can you find the verb in the sentence? What is the action doing? What is the boy doing? He's refusing. So that's our verb. And here it says an adverb tells us more about the verb. So the boy refused to study would also be a perfect sentence, 100%. But now it's telling us more about this boy. Okay, so stubbornly. So that's refused to study. Then an adjective. We haven't done adjectives yet, but adjectives tell us more. Okay, so let's look. They can be descriptive. The patient was amazingly better. Okay, so it is an adverb is telling us more about a verb or adjective. All right, so there's our adverb, amazingly. And if you notice a common theme, it's ending in ly. See there. Okay, so better was our adjective, and now it also tells us more about another adverb. Now he was responding surprisingly fast. Fast is another adverb. Surprisingly is also an adverb. And remember, I always teach you what is the part of speech, the noun, the pronoun, the verb, and now we're doing adverbs. So I give you a description, what is it? And then there's always types of adverbs, types of nouns, types of pronouns, types of verbs. And they always want to know both. They test you on what is the part of speech, adverb, what is the type, manner. Okay, let's have a look. This is telling us more. An adverb answers the questions where, when, how, why, and to what extent. So if we look at this example here, James returned home very quickly, comma, yesterday. So if you could do me a favor and you can pause your screen and try and work out what fits where. So home, what would that answer? Okay, so have you guys worked it out? If we look at the first one, home, what would home be? Where? So James returned where? Home. Then very. Very is telling us to what extent. Okay, so that's very. Then quickly is telling us what? How. So James returned how? Quickly. Then the last one is yesterday, and that is telling us when. So I'll just repeat that if you missed it. Home, where, very, to what extent, quickly, how, and yesterday is when. Sorry, my nose is a bit itchy. Right, so this is a hint. I spoke about it just now. There was a common theme or a thread, and we saw that they were all ending in, or the adverbs were ending in ly. And now they're giving us a hint. Adverbs of manner and degree often end in ly. Not all of them, but that's an important one to note. And it's an easy one to gauge. And if you're confused and you read the sentence quickly, so if we look here, I can identify quickly. Now we said quickly is how, and how is actually manner. Okay. So these ones don't end in ly, so it's important not to get stuck on, oh, all adverbs end in ly. It's a good indicator and it's a nice tip, but they don't all end in ly. Okay. Right, let's go on to the next one. I just thought of something now, before we go on. Some of you might be thinking, but ma'am, home is a noun. So how is it an adverb? So remember, that's why it's so important to look at the context of the sentence. If the sentence was, he has a home, that's telling us about a place. Okay? So because this is answering, where did he return to? Okay? It's answering home. So I know English can be tricky, but just try, be careful, and see what question it's answering. Okay. You can write this down for me. These are the different types of adverbs. We get an adverb of time, an adverb of place, an adverb of manner, an adverb of degree, and an adverb of frequency. We're going to go through each one. So adverb of time tells us when something happened. So we looked at the example, and yesterday tells us when. But now in a test or exam, you can't say it's an adverb of when. Telling us when something's happening is your clue to working out time. Okay. My youngest sister started school when? yesterday. Adverb of time. Here are more examples of adverbs of time. Today, tomorrow, yesterday, now, then, soon, immediately. Adverb of place. This tells us where something happened. So come here. That is telling us where. Examples: here, there, nowhere, up, down, home, far, and near. So it's important to read the sentence and see if it's telling us place, where something occurred. This one is very popular and it's tested quite often, so you must know this one. Adverb of manner. This tells us how something happened, and this is a popular one that is used. She shouted, how? Loudly. He ran quickly. How did he run? Quickly. Okay, so here are more examples. Quickly, hungrily, imaginatively, fast. Remember we had that example of an adverb. Fast and well. So how did you do something? You did it well. All right. I hope that helps you. Oh, wrong one. Then, adverb of degree. This answers the question, to what extent or to what degree. And this is the very example. She was very frightened. You should search me more thoroughly. So it's telling us to what extent. Okay. Here are more examples. Very, quite, rather, so, almost, fairly, nearly, hardly, extremely, rarely, just, and to. Then the adverb of frequency. I've spelt it wrong. I'm really sorry. There should not be an E there. I just picked that mistake up. I apologize for that. So an adverb of frequency shows us how often we do something. So I often go to the cinema. We usually drink tea, but occasionally, that should be in bold, have coffee after a meal. So how often do you have it? Occasionally. You could also have coffee rarely. You could have it sometimes, usually, never, always, seldom, seldomly. Right, so what I'd like you to do is pause the screen and I'd like you to do this exercise. If you can please identify the adverbs and what type they are. Alright, you could have written it down for me or you could have just done it verbally. We're going to go through the answers. Yesterday, they drove very slowly here and arrived late. Hopefully you got this right. Yesterday shows us time. They drove very. Now very is showing us degree. Adverb of degree. How did they drive? Slowly. So that's telling us how, which is the adverb of manner. And then they're telling us here. So wherever they drove to was here. And that's telling us an adverb of place. So that's where. And arrived late. Remember, this is the yesterday, the time. Time can also be late. Today, tomorrow, or late. Okay, I hope you identified all of those adverbs and all their types. Remember, you can always ask the question and then try to think what is it linked to. So study it like that. So yesterday, time, late, time. That just means various degree, slowly, manner, how, where, when, what, to what extent. Not what, yeah. All right, we're going to do another little exercise. So I would like you to pause the screen and you are going to identify the adverbs for me. Okay, so there's two sentences. So you need to identify the adverbs in sentence 1 and in sentence 2. So the first example is, the small child sobbed hysterically when his ice cream was taken from him. Shame. He was too tired to do his work. I think a lot of us feel like this sometimes. But unfortunately, we have to push through. Okay, so pause the screen, write the answers down. We're going to go through it. Okay, so here are the answers. The small child sobbed. How did he sob? How tells us manner. Hysterically, when his ice cream was taken from him. Then this one, he was too tired to do his work. To is telling us to what extent, and that's answering, that's the type of adverb is degree. Okay, so I really hope that you got these right. Don't beat yourself up if you didn't get them. Practice makes perfect, and that's why we have activities afterwards that you can practice and learn how to identify an adverb. Right, before you go, we're just going to do a little recap. We've done nouns, we've done pronouns, we've done verbs, and today we looked at adverbs. We looked at what they do, what their definition is, and we looked at all the different types. It's important that you study these types and that you know them, so that when you actually write a test or exam, that you're not just guessing, that you actually can identify it. Also, remember, the adverb of manner is an important one, and we love to ask it. Then I mentioned before, there's an activity for you to do, just to hone in your skills and just to practice a bit more. Then, if you have any questions, please send us an email at grade8@worksheetcloud.com. And then I can't leave without a little bit of positivity or motivation for the week or the day. Stay positive. I know it's difficult sometimes. Work hard. I know, and I'm so proud of so many of you for working hard and putting time into your education. And then obviously the last thing is make it happen. So whatever goal you want to achieve this year, if in January you said you want to be the top academic in your high school, go for it. You can still achieve it. If maybe your goal was just to get a certain percentage, you can still do that. Or if you had a sports goal or dream, don't give up on those dreams. And I know sometimes it is hard to be positive, but it's better to be positive than negative, because then we just don't have such a good day. Then I've just got a few books here for you. I didn't actually know that 13 Reasons Why was a book. I just thought it was a series. I could be wrong. I just remember my learners begging me to watch it. I just never got around to it. I think I watched one episode and it left me feeling drained, emotional, and negative. So I don't like to read books that don't have a happy ending. I don't like to watch movies, and I'm sure you're the same. Reading, again, grade 8s, I can't emphasize how important it is. So find that author whom you love or you just can relate to their books. I know John Green. I don't know this one so well. Turtles All the Way Down. John Green, you can see here, he wrote The Fault in Our Stars. Sorry, my nose. He's quite a popular author amongst teenagers. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed his writing. yeah, I think he also wrote another book called Paper Towns. I haven't read that. This is actually a movie I saw on Netflix, and it is so cute. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I think it's such a cute little concept and coming of age and showing how you can actually just be confident in yourself. I didn't know it was a book, but I'll definitely give that a read. And then one of my favorite series is The Hunger Games. The book, The Hunger Games is the first book. It is incredible. You get to know what the narrator or the protagonist of the story is thinking all the time. Sometimes in movies, it's difficult to portray what they're actually thinking. So when I watch the movie, I have so much understanding of that character. So it's always good. I know it's difficult because you guys always say, no, let's rather watch the movie. But I'm just going on because I absolutely love reading. And when is there time? Now. Lockdown. Try just read before you go to bed. Read a chapter or even just read 2 pages for me. So I really hope that I've inspired you to grab a book. I hope that you've learned something today with regards to parts of speech and adverbs. And then thanks so much for watching grade 8s. This lesson was brought to you by WorksheetCloud, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.